going to be going over the break even that I took today. So let me just get straight into it. High time frame, a little bit harder of a day to build my bias, honestly, because we are rejecting out of this daily gap. But what really convinced me was the fact that if I pull out my fib tool, I go from this range low to the range high. What are we doing, right? Well, we're wicking out of a 4-hour gap after sweeping out this intermediate low. Not only that, but we're rejecting the 0.5 of this range. We're rejecting EQ of this range, not only on NQ, but we're doing the exact same thing on ES. Let me just grab this range low to the range high. We're wicking the 0.5% of that range. We did it twice, so that is a strong point of rejection. What do I see next, DOL wise? Well, of course, in the 4-hour, we have this 4-hour gap right here. So this was my original target. I wanted to see possibly a resweep at this level, but I really didn't think I was going to see that. So what I was thinking was, okay, we probably just expand up at open, and we have all of this low resistance up here to target. So we open up some sort of 5-minute or 15-minute gap, so I can get a continuation long up to here. So that was my idea coming into open. What happens at open? Well, 930 originally does not do anything, right? All it does is just generate liquidity. Yes, it does manipulate into a 1 minute on ES, but I don't honestly really care about ES. I only care about NQ, especially with my PO3. So 930 does nothing. We leave that 930 that 930 body. What do? Well, we have our 945 opens up inside the 4-hour gap. We're inside CE of the 4-hour. At the same time, ES is trading inside of a 1-hour gap. Right here, sweeping out this 1-hour intermediate high. You can see here, at this point, I was looking for a short. I see this 3-minute gap form right here. And if I play out the 3-minute, you can see a lot of people did take this trade, but personally, I just hated the close on this inversion. I like healthy inversion closes. If you see the wick is as big, or if not bigger, than the body of the close on the inversion, then just do not take it because it's a very shady inversion, and these just kind of indicate a stop rate coming, right? So stop rate right there. Now what do? We come back up, right? We have our 10 a.m. open. 10 a.m. open does what? Well, it doesn't really do much, right? All it does is move down slightly and start to reaccumulate. You can see that right here. 10 a.m. opens up and starts to reaccumulate, generating low resistance back up towards high. At the same time, ES just put in a bearish SMT with our range high, but I don't necessarily care about that because we have all of this bullish expansion and no place to reject off of an NQ. If you look at the left, NQ has no significant pool of liquidity to reject lower off of, meaning we should just move into one of these 15-minute gaps, being a high time frame key level, and then move back up, sweeping out all of this low resistance liquidity, and ultimately taking out that range high before rebalancing the range, possibly to EQ, right? So we have our 1015 starting to generate liquidity. That is our accumulation. We have our 1015 open up, mitigate this 15-minute gap on NQ and ES. What do we see then? Well, we see a double SMT form at this low. So our low is double SMT. We then get a strong 1-minute inversion, right, where we're printing a wick outside the range, closing body back inside the range towards all this liquidity. And the mistake that I made today was I got greedy. I wanted to see 10 a.m. price hit. I thought to myself, well, I don't really see a world that if the trade makes it to here, where we just come down break even unless PA just wants to come resweep this low, right? So my idea was, okay, ES has a 5-minute above. We have this 10 a.m. We should just rip, take out all this low resistance and hit this 10 a.m. I should be out, right? No, completely wrong. We come up here and I end up going break even around this candle right here. Why? Because if you look at ES on the 5-minute time frame, ES hits a 5-minute gap and ES has that put in the SMT. So technically ES is the leading bearish index, so I just wanted to go break even right here because I was in so much profit and I really did not want to get fully stopped out. So this would have been my 1-to-1, right? My 1-to-1 would have been hit well long ago. I get stop break even by this big candle right here, and then we end up coming down and really just doing not much else, right? So that is the break even I took today. Pretty unfortunate, but I know what I did wrong. If I target my 1-to-1, I win. Traded pretty well today, read the market well, so yeah.